Hi, it's Adam from Krav Maga Northern Beaches, and we're following up in this series about bullying. And we've been talking about, the 5 tips, and this is one of the tips, and it's dealing with conflict. So, if a child's being bullied, this is a really good opportunity for parents to help them get through some type of conflict. And the reality is kids are always going to have conflict, whether it be with siblings, whether it be with friends. And the first thing I say to parents, teachers, and coaches is that we need to see that the conflict is an opportunity for the teacher to actually mold the child. So, if someone is being bullied, or they're finding that, their friend's not quite getting on with them, or they're having some issues, a parent needs to perceive it as, hey, I've got an opportunity and I need to be grateful for this opportunity because I can actually mold my child into being more resilient, into appreciating their friends, into problem solving. And as a coach, you need to see that opportunity and help them discover how to resolve it and get through those challenges that they're having. The next thing is that, you need to tell the child that, it's not the end of the world. If they're having a conflict, well, yes, the behavior or the conflict is something that you don't like, but it doesn't mean that that person is a bad person. Sometimes we label, and you often hear this with our language, and you say, oh, Johnny's being very mean, was he? Well, Johnny's not always mean, even though some people might see him as being mean. It's actually the behavior that he's doing. So as parents, we need to sort of recognize this behavior within children and maybe reframe it in a different way. So, I can see that you didn't appreciate when Johnny did X. So I'm sort of just breaking it down. I'm not labeling Johnny as being mean all the time. In that instance, when he did X, I can see that, you didn't appreciate it. So as a parent, we need to sort of coach children and break down that labeling. The next thing is help children be aware of their emotions. So, when they're in the conflict, they need to practice breathing and mindfulness. So, if you're having a conflict, just okay, the first thing is take a deep breath. This often will help children with their body and actually have that mind-body sort of connection. And then they can ask them, what's coming up for you? How do you feel right now? If your child's a little bit younger, or the person that you're mentoring is, around the age of 4, 5, 6, I love the analogy of, how's your guard dog right now? It's a great analogy for kids. Or why don't we put the policeman away? That's a person that always gets a little bit angry in a situation. So help children recognize the emotions and practice some basic breathing techniques. Then we need to make sure that the child doesn't feel that they're alone. So in this situation where there's a little bit of conflict, they need to know that, hey, I've got support. Mom and dad are going to support me. I'm going to approach the teachers and say, hey, we need to sort of resolve this problem, or maybe the other parents, etc. So they feel that they have a support network and they're not on their own doing this. And then the last thing, as I always say, is be a good role model. So your child's going to see how you deal with conflict, whether it be in the workplace, with your partner, and you need to demonstrate how you resolve problems and work with your partner to find an outcome that's good for everyone. Okay, these are tips around conflict with kids. I hope you enjoy this the series, and I'll see you next week. Bye.